Greetings, one and all. Welcome. This is a Saturday afternoon video. No sports. Not going to talk about it. Doesn't matter. There are a few other things on my mind, but this is actually a special day for me, which I won't share because I'm not going to be inundated with hate, which is what we get across the YouTube community. So I do have a few items that need to be addressed. As I say, they are non-sports oriented. Everybody's followed the last couple of days the special elections that were held on Tuesday. Arlen Specter loses the Democratic nomination to win re-election to the Senate. I think everybody saw that coming. And personally, I actually like the guy because, this is a case of social libertarianism, that you want to keep the government out of the bedroom, but, it's not enough to save your ass when you change parties, and nobody blamed him for changing parties because, well, let's face it, at least be the second thing. I don't know what the fuck people are drinking in Kentucky, but let me give you some unsolicited advice from here in Virginia. If you embrace the type of teabagger fascist that you embraced by allowing Ron Paul's son, Rand Paul, who's a dentist, I think understands it as a dentist, oral surgeon, whatever, to capture the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate seat there in Kentucky. When you embrace this type of fascism, you're going to get bit in the ass. And they've seen the last couple of days, and this asshole has just been a nightmare. Saying, in essence, that the oil spill is, but chalking it up by saying accidents happen. Okay, so how do you describe 6 million Jews, gypsies, and gays marched into the ovens at Auschwitz, Dachau, and Buchenwald? Is that an accident? I mean, this is the mentality, of these teabaggers. That's what it is. I've called you what you really are: fascist, anarchist, terrorist, and simply, you're not real Americans. And of course, what does Rand Paul do? He decides to play the blame game. He says, oh, let's just blame this on the media. No, you were the motherfucker talking. You were the one who was going on Rachel Maddow's show. You went on Good Morning America. You went on CNN. And you couldn't shut up. And you still can't shut up. And now you're an embarrassment to the Republican Party. Not that they weren't embarrassed already because they've stood there and spread their legs like Parisian horse for televangelists and religious scum. No, now they got a problem with you because you're a teabagger fascist. I don't know about your old man. Maybe your old man's a little touched in the head. Oh well. I don't know. Like I said, today is a somewhat important day for me. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's not your fucking business. But it was interesting that I got an email from my oldest brother who'll be coming to visit here in a few weeks. And just as time flies when you're having fun. This is fun. No. Not when you get to this point in life. It's no longer fun. It's no longer fun when your family disappoints you, when your friends disappoint you. It's no fun when society in general disappoints your ass. It's not fun. I don't know. You just see the direction this country continues to take, and you're just continuing to fuck it up. And just like the French in 1940, you're all bending over and taking it up the ass. No, this is not going to be one of those little discussions on Well, I could discuss these teabagger fascists, but I've already done that. No, this is about something else. This is about how nobody seems to want to speak from the middle, to govern from the middle, to even listen to people who have a better message. But it gets drowned out because they want to stand there and pigeonhole you in one or two positions. Doesn't work for me. Never has. I've always stood here and said I've been an independent voter my whole life. I tried remembering that the other day. When I turned 18, I went and registered to vote and went down to the registrar's office and said, you know, they said, okay, what affiliation would you like to register? I said, just put it, and had it listed as independent. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. My old man and my older brother, both of them, said, you can't do that. That's bullshit. I already have. And it's been that way. It's never changed. I just don't buy into this idea of a two-party system in this country. You know, and you see how it's fucked up with two parties. You try to imagine what it's like in Britain. You know, where you got to deal with, you know, 20 or so political parties there, and how now they had to come up with a coalition government in Britain because nobody had a clear-cut majority to run things. So they had to settle for the guy that essentially was the head of the Liberal Democrat Party in Britain. He was the new, basically, he was the kingmaker, so to speak. They made him the deputy prime minister of Britain. I'm thinking, hey, at least now you're a power broker. At least now you get to dictate policy to everybody. He said, okay, we're going to say, here's what I want. You're going to do this shit. And if you don't do this shit, I'm going to come back in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or so. They go and decide to have new elections. And I'll be the new king of the hill. Watch and see. And like I said, nobody wants to speak in this country from the middle. You know, and what's this whole idea? You know, I keep reading this shit all the time. It, you know, there are people who refer to themselves as progressives or moderates. And they said, well, no, that's just a cover. It's just that's just big euphemism for liberals. Fuck you and the donkey you give a blowjob to. Okay? That's what this is about. You don't care. You don't care what happens to this country. You just as soon let them flush it down the toilet. I've said before what you need to do. Build a scaled down version of Auschwitz, march in these televangelists, these pro-life religious scum, and just exterminate their asses off the planet. And we throw in these teabagger fascists alongside them. That's what you need to do to take this country back. That's all there is to it. So here's what's going to happen, folks. As far as this video goes, you're not going to respond to it. You're not going to leave video responses. You need to be paying attention. So with that in mind, it is I, your friendly neighborhood real sports nut, not talking about sports on this day, and always to leave you with this thought: if you get taken in by imitators trying to trade off on my ass, you're on my shit list and you deserve the shit that's going to be heaped upon your ass. So with all that, I shall bid you all adieu and try to get through this very special day for me. We'll catch up when I feel like fucking catching up to you. In the meantime, we'll see you soon. With the rest of you, fuck off.